And we are always going to be a threat to those powers forever. We broke through with the internet revolution until they figured out how to tighten the reins and control that. But yeah, we saw what it was like when they didn't have control, and we saw what kind of artists were able to get popular
Yes.
before they did what they did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, you know, and it happened a generation before us. You know what I mean? Like how did X Clan happen? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
just had Brother Jay on the show a
Yeah, I
couple
heard
weeks
that. It was
ago.
great.
And it's like, yo, somebody really let X Clan be a thing? You know what I mean? Like the music industry
Oh,
really let X Clan like
that had to have been like an eye-opening moment for I mean, obviously the government tried to squelch it and put a cap on it,
yeah.
but you're right. There was this Wild West moment in the late '80s,
Yeah.
early '90s, where those things had their audience and were able to get in front of eyes. Probably a lot of thanks due to Yo MTV Raps.
Mhm.
That's how that gave white America access and context to these artists who like all of a sudden now I'm watching this, I'm loving it. I've got a Malcolm X poster on my wall. It changed white America in a way that never could have been predicted because the people who don't want these ideas to spread the way that they did had no idea it was possible.
Yeah.
So they had to figure out ways to like turn it.
Yeah. And you know, and I look about like, okay, so the if me talking about Palestine is really when I think about the song that I made this year, I made one song, The Collapse. And
Lovely
I made
song.
thank you. I
Love
feel
it.
very good about it. And I sang the chorus. People keep saying like, "Who sang that hook?" Like, man, I did. I had to. I couldn't. I wrote it in my head, and then I was like trying to get different people to sing it for me, and I ended up reaching out to Merkage Dave in England, who's like knows like Slug, and Marcus Dave was like, "Yeah, I love this, but I don't sing other people's stuff. I sing my own stuff, and it takes me a long time to write. So I'm like, I just need to get it done." So eventually, I ended up singing it in a British accent, and that was the only way that I could perform it a way that I
Really?
liked it.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was you singing that. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah. And man, I feel great about it. But when I think about that song compared to what Paris was saying, compared to what
Mm.
Brand Nubian was saying, compared to what Ice Cube was saying for a period of his career, it's nothing compared. Like you know what I'm saying? Like my little stuff is nothing compared to what some of the biggest artists, Public Enemy, what some of the biggest artists in hip hop were saying at the
Yeah,
time that they were
Ice-T.
able to break through. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ice-T had Cop Killer. I mean, they had F the Police. They had I Want to Kill Sam, Horny Little Devil. Like, man, I mean, it was some hardcore stuff that broke through. And then, yeah, like you said, man, like these industries always figure out how to reshape the conversation based on the business model and the worldview and the ethos that works for selling things.
Yeah, capitalize on a lesser version of that art
Yeah.
and make it way more difficult for that style of art to be made and to
Yeah.
thrive. Yeah.
And we can still be edgy, but it's like if but it's like what subjects are we allowed to be edgy now about? There are certain subjects we can be edgy about. You know what I mean? Like somebody talking about details of their sex life, you can be edgy in that way. Or if it's black men tearing each other down, you can be really edgy in that way. And suddenly everybody can care about lyrics and it can be really, you know. But man, nothing about nothing about Palestine, nothing about politics, nothing about the war machine, nothing about the, yeah, it's very, very strange.